Hello, America. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my review of 90 Day the Other Way, Season 1, Episodes 2 and 3. I will be reviewing 90 Day Happily Ever After, but it'll probably be out tomorrow because I really don't care much for the series, so I really don't care what happens. Anyway, I've been trying to record this video all day, and it's just been bullshit. So, whatever, I'm here now. Let's start with Evelyn and Corey. We see Evelyn. Evelyn is going to be leaving today, and he says he'll be there in a few weeks. Evelyn is going back to Ecuador. She says that she really hates it in America, and she wants to be in Ecuador. And when she gets to Ecuador, she wants him to. Well, when he gets to Ecuador, she wants him to learn the language and be able to communicate with people because she doesn't want to be responsible for him while he's there, which is weird because ain't he responsible for you while you here? Like, yes, I know you do know how to speak English, but like, can you go to the store? Huh? Do you know where the store is? Like, the same, like, I don't know. But she gave him an ultimatum basically saying, either you can stay here in America and live your American life by yourself, or you can come to Ecuador and live an Ecuadorian life with me. So then she's like, are you going to give me some money to go to to go to Ecuador? He stops on the side of the road, gets out, gets the ATM, goes to the ATM and pulls out $500 and gives it to her. He then says that he has spent all of his savings on Evelyn and their life in Ecuador, and he gave her $2,000 to open up a cocktail bar and basically, you know, all of that dumb shit. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not really a fan of Evelyn. Evelyn looks annoying to me. I don't know. She looks like a less she is acting like, to me, a less interesting Larissa. And no, that's not going to happen. So, next we see them. This is episode 3, because this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk about each couple from episode 2 and episode 3 and put them together like this. So, oh yeah, what is her name? Evelyn also said that she's nervous that he won't be making money like he made in the United States. Girl, are you fucking dumb? Of course he won't be making money like he made in the United States. What are you talking about? But anyway, in episode 3, we see Corey. Corey goes to tell his parents that he's never going to come back. He tells his parents, hey, y'all, I'm moving to Ecuador for good. You know, when I leave in 2 weeks, I ain't never coming back. His mother immediately starts to cry, as mothers would do. And his father is like, oh, okay. I thought your ass was going to come back. I didn't know that this was going to be a goodbye. But, like, how y'all going to live down there? How you going to make it? What's the plan? He's like, okay, so I have this cocktail bar. He gave Evelyn $2,000 to start a cocktail bar. He also said to his parents that he would have 90 days to go down there, get married, and apply for his citizenship there, or he would have to come back. Same thing as 90 day American style, okay? He also told his parents how Evelyn doesn't like America and basically is giving him an ultimatum. And so his father's like, bro, ultimatums in relationships do not work, big homie, okay? And also, y'all got this cocktail bar. Y'all said y'all gonna live with that. Let me ask you something. Whose name is it in? It's in Evelyn's name. Why? Because, you know, she's Ecuadorian and I'm not. Okay. But, you know, like, just on paper it's hers, but really it's ours. And he like, his father is like, bro, on paper that's the only thing that matters. Okay. So I don't know. Evelyn might say, you know what? I'm done with you. I don't want to be with you no more. And she got a whole ass cocktail bar. She got a whole bunch of this stuff. So the next scene we see, I think it's like a couple of days before he's about to leave, he goes to get his shots. Malaria is very prevalent over in Ecuador, apparently. So it's not a shot that you take to prevent malaria. It's a pill. And he would take the pill, it had to be like a week before he was leaving, because he would take the pill 2 days before he leave. Then he would take the pill every single day for the rest of his life. And I'm like, what? One pill every single day for the rest of my life. What if I forget the pill? Do you know how hard it was for me to take birth control pills? Like, what if I forget the pill? And then I'm up here with malaria. Like, no. Corey says that he has a fear of needles. So he goes out in the hallway. He does some push-ups. The nurse is really chatty. And I'm like, you smiling too much for somebody who needs to be calming down this man, okay? He also made a comment in his little confessional that he doesn't usually see patients over 30 bringing their mama in. Who you think you is? I bring my mama in if I motherfucking want to. Okay, that's number one. He gets the shots. The shots don't seem to be horrific at all, but he has a phobia, I guess, of needles. And then after he gets the shots, he proceeds to lay on the ground, lay on the floor in the doctor's office with his face on the carpet. I don't really know much about Corey. Obviously, I know that this is their first time on the 90-day franchise. But it's one thing to have a phobia. Now, if he would have passed out, it would have been all good. But the fact that you decided to lie down on the floor, I ain't got nothing else to say. Okay? But that's the end of their story for episode 2 and episode 3, okay? Let's talk about Tiffany. So we see Tiffany. Tiffany is the one who's married to, or who is about to get married to the gambler. Okay. Tiffany is going out to lunch and to the dress fitting, or did she already do the dress fitting? I don't know. And she's going to tell her family about Ronald and his past. She tells them that she didn't know that he had a gambling addiction. She found out after he proposed, and that's when she had said that she was going to be done with the relationship. And then, she knew that she loved him and she didn't want to, like, give up on him. And he had lost his job. He sold all of his things. He sold his phone, so she couldn't even get in contact with him. And finally, after that, he checked himself into rehab. Her mother hears this and is like, no, like, I don't understand. Girl, you better than me, because I don't want to be with no addict. Tiffany says, I would feel bad for just leaving him. This is my situation now. He's going to be my husband, so I need to stick by him. Girl, I am so sick of all of these people, man and woman, talking about this is my husband, this is my wife, I'm going to stick by them, this is my situation. It's not your situation. It's their situation, okay? Tiffany says that she knows that she's taking a risk, starting a life with an addict, but she loves him so much that she won't leave his side, and it's worth salvaging, and working toward a better relationship. Her family tells her that, yeah, that's all well and good and all, but you do need to worry about your child, okay? And that now you're not just going over by yourself, you're also going over with a child. She then decides to tell them that, well, since he has such a lengthy criminal record and it's a lot of things, he may not be able to come to the Americas, so I may be going to South Africa. And they just like, so not only is he an addict, but you are possibly going to go over there, get married, and then stay when he's had a habit of selling all his things and going to rehab. Okay. We don't know. But in the next scene, we see Tiffany. Tiffany goes to an immigration lawyer because she wants to know what exactly are Ronald's chances of coming to America. So she tells the immigration lawyer about his lengthy criminal past. This man, all of the charges are dismissed though, but this man has like a drunk driving a speeding ticket, a possession of a drug, and so the immigration lawyer was like, "What drug?" And she didn't know what drug she knew what drug. Let me tell you something. Only way you gonna get over here is if it's weed. That's it. If it's cocaine, if it's crack, meth, any of that, he not getting over here. Okay? And he might not get over here if it's weed. Armed robbery and stealing money. But the armed robbery wasn't his charge, okay? That they found out that it wasn't him. And stealing money. And so the immigration lawyer is like, okay, tell me about the stealing money charge. And she like, well, I don't really know much about that. He like, look, you need to ask him about that, because if there's any admission of guilt or anything in these court documents, that could potentially mean that this man is not coming over. And I could tell, like, you know, she really going through it, and she really struggling, and she want her, you know, she wants everything to be okay, but I think, I don't know, girl. I don't know. I don't even know the age difference between Tiffany and Ronald. I can't even remember. That's the end of her story for episode 2 and episode 3, because she was not shown in episode 3, okay? Paul and his mother are on their way to a lawyer, an immigration lawyer, I presume, to find out how much money Paul needs to have to be able to get Karine over here so she can have her baby in their baby in America. So the immigration lawyer tells them that he needs to make $26,000. That qualifies as stable income for a three-person household, basically him, his wife, and his baby. He's like, I don't have $26,000, so I'm gonna need a co-signer. And so he looks at his mother, and his mother is like, I can't do it. We're going through hard times right now, so you know it's really not possible. So Paul knows at that moment that it's less than likely that Karine will be over here to give birth to his child, and Karine basically will be over here, period. So he's going to have to give up his citizenship in America and go over to Brazil. But Paul said something that was really weird to me. He said, I'm going to have to learn the language. And I'm like, so you've been literally with a woman, I think, for 5 years, and you don't know her language? Now, I know that we were doing Google Translate last season, not happily ever after, before the 90 days. But I'm just really confused. That you still don't know the language. Like, anyway, Paul is very disappointed and frustrated because he wants to be able to take care of his family. They get back in the car. He asks his mother, so why don't you want to support Karine? And his mother is like, well, I mean, I'm supporting you already. I don't want to have to support 2 adults. And I mean, I told you not to marry her, you know. Paul is like, okay, boom, well, I'm just going to leave and I'm going to never come back. And his mother is like, oh, you trying to threaten me? That's a threat. And he like, no, it's going to be a promise, because I don't have no way to bring her over here. And his mother is like, look, you just need to pray. And he's like, what am I praying for? I'm praying for you to change your mind. Like, you're the only person that I'm depending on. But I mean, Paul, what happened to your money from the show? Are we supposed to pretend like he doesn't have money for the show? From the show? Like, you've been on, look. Do they not pay you, niggas? They just got you out here. I don't know. But somebody like Paul, somebody like Nicole, somebody like Paul and Nicole, those are people who have gotten money from being on this show, and then you act like you can't participate in things, and I don't understand it. Next thing we see, Paul is packing. I think he leaves either that day or in a couple of days. I think he leaves that day. He shows his mother that he has a bulletproof baby carrier, a bulletproof vest in the back, the baby right here, and then a bulletproof front part, and so that way if they start to shoot at them, he'll be protecting the baby. And his mother's like, okay, so the baby will be protected, but you'll just get shot in the head. He's like, well, yeah, I'll be dead, but the baby will be protected. And I don't know. I'm not saying that Paul is growing on me, but I don't think his mother is as weird as the lock of hair made her out to be. Okay, does that make sense? Anyway, so they get loaded up into the car to go to the airport. Paul has 5 bags. Paul goes to the airport. He's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm about to check 5 bags. And what is it called? The customer service representative is like, no, big homie, you can only have 2. He like, okay, I'll have the 2 free and then I'll pay for the other 3. And big homeboy is like, no, you can only have 3 in general. So he said, I don't know what you mean. So he calls up the airliner. He calls up the airport. They are participating in an embargo, and no airplanes in any of that airport will allow a passenger to carry over 2 bags. So he is like, well, is there any way that I can schedule the flight after? It's going to be a 30 days of this, and then after it'll go back to normal. And so I guess they said no, because he's like, well, then just fucking cancel it. So his mother is like, so what do you want to do? Do you want to like try to condense this stuff and take 2 bags? He like, no, bro, I'm about to go home, okay? I have stuff for the baby. I have all this stuff. The baby could be born while I'm out there. I mean, the baby will be born while you out there, since you never coming back, right? The baby could be born while I'm out there, and then I get out there and I don't have anything for the baby. So he puts all the stuff back in the car. They go back home. He calls Karini. Karini is like, what's up, bro? Paul is like, hey, Karini, I'm actually not going to be able to make it. And she like, you lie. And he's like, no, I'm not lying. Karini, I'm not lying. I'm serious. They won't let me take all 5 bags. And she like, well, why didn't you just get on the fucking flight with 2 bags? And he like, I didn't think that you wanted me to get on the flight with 2 bags. I have things for the baby. I have things that you said that you wanted. So Karini is crying. She like, Paul, I need you here, bro. I'm pregnant. Are you lying? Do you just not want to come back to Brazil? And Paul is like, bro, I do want to come back to Brazil. I love you. I love the baby. I'm just, not able to do it right now. So he tells Karini that he loves her. And Karini says, and hangs up. And he like, wow, I can't even get an I love you. So in the next scene, we see a day later, Paul has rescheduled his flight. The airline helped him out. He's only going to take 2 bags, which at this point, after I had done all of that, I probably wouldn't have left. I probably wouldn't have left until after the embargo embargo is happening, because you still are not going to be able to take those bags. And so, like, your child is, I don't know. But Paul said that he condensed stuff down. He packed stuff down. He was able to have 2 bags. So his mother is unable to drive him to the airport today because she took off work yesterday to do it. So she hugs him. They hug each other. They cry. His mother says that she hates goodbyes. She gives him a necklace with a lock of her hair. And I understand that that's weird, but the way that Paul explained it didn't make it weird to me. Now, I understand. I'm a big old softy, okay? Especially regarding mothers. I'm a big old softy. But when he said that this is a lock of her hair and something could happen to her and I still have this, that made me feel really good. Because I'd love to have a lock of my mama's hair right now, okay? So, it's good that he got that. It's good. Now, the comb, the hair off the comb, I would have preferably not have dealt with that. But the lock of hair and the symbolism behind it is fine, okay? So, Paul has not told Karini that he is coming back to, Paul has not told Karini that he's on his way back to Brazil and it's supposed to be a surprise, okay? So, that's how their story ends. Next, we're going to talk about a new woman that we met in episode 3. Her name is Laura. Laura is 51 years old. She is originally from Canada. I don't know why in the hell she in the United States. But in 10 days, she will be going to Africa to be with a 29-year-old man from Tanzania. Is it Tanz or is it Tanzania? I think it's Tanzania. Anyway, after a year of talking, I mean, I'm not saying he cute because he's not, but he's like a personal trainer. Ain't Asin a personal trainer. He is what Asin should look like. And I'm not talking about facial wise, but I am talking about body wise. I've never seen Asin without a shirt, and quite frankly, I don't want to. Is that me? I don't care. Anyway, they were talking for about a year. Then she went over to Africa. She was there for 3 days. He proposed to her. Then she said yes. She still has some doubts because she doesn't trust men from her husband cheating on her, and also because of their age gap. Now, she said her husband was cheating. Her ex-husband was cheating on her. She found out because he left his laptop open and she seen the messages. So she went on the same dating site that he was on. Basically catfished him and told him that the lady she was pretending to be the catfish told him that she loved men with bald heads, right? So that very next day, her ex-husband come to her and say, "Hey, yo, big homie, could you help me shave my head?" And at that moment, she knew that she need to get out this damn relationship. So she is still a little bit skeptical because of the age and because of the, lack of trust towards men. But she's also skeptical because she's going to be leaving her son, Liam. Her and her son live together. They're like best friends. And it seems as though, what is his name? Aladon wants to have a relationship with Liam, but Liam is like, bro, you 9 years older than me. You and I aren't about to be cool. So then we get Liam reading his own mother for filth. So he says that he's weirded out by the relationship, and he doesn't understand why Aladon would want to be with his mother, because his mother will be 75 when he's 45. His mother can't have children, and it seems like he's getting the short end of the stick. That's what he said. And I said, I wish your ass would. I wish my son would go on national television and say that someone who wants to marry me is getting the short end of the stick. Wow. But that's really the end of their story. I guess the next time we see her, she's either going to be on her way to Africa or on the plane to Africa. I don't know. I don't understand why you waited until episode number 3 to bring in somebody else. And aren't they going to bring in another person? The person who's with the Asian man? So, like, why are you bringing in all these people? If you didn't talk about the people in the first fucking episode and in the second episode, why would you wait until the third episode? That's just, ludicrous to me. Anyway, let's talk about some people that I kind of actually like. I actually really like Jenny, and I really like Submit. Okay, now don't. Because if Submit or Jenny are horrible people, I'm going to be a little bit angry. But they seem like they nice. They seem like, hello? Hi. They seem like they're nice people. Submit really seems like he loves her. And I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Okay? I kind of like it. Okay. So, we see Submit. He is in India. He lives with his parents, but that's a common practice in India. His brother, his grandparents, and his parents they all live together in the same house. Once he gets married, he is still expected to live there, and his wife just moves in with everybody else. He says since he works at night, it was really hard for him to meet people. So he started talking to Western girls. He saw Jenny. He fell in love with her big blue eyes, and also he likes white girls. How the whole Michael Jones catfish came to be is when he got the job. They gave him a Western name to use when talking to customers. So the last person who had his job, his name was Michael Jones. Or his Western name was Michael Jones. So they gave Michael Jones to him. So when he created his profile, he just used Michael Jones. And Michael Jones actually, the fake profile actually looked like the man that lady Laura is talking to. So after about 4 months of him catfishing her, he fell in love with her, and he showed her who he really was, and she also fell in love with him, and it was candy and roses from there. So we see him, he is chilling with his friends. He chilling with his friends. He is going to tell his friends today that he's going to get married to Jenny. So he tells his friends that he's going to get married to Jenny. They like, the Jenny who like came over here and then like you never talked about again. So apparently Jenny came over there. He was staying with his parents, obviously. Jenny was staying with him and his parents. His mother, who is younger than Jenny, felt that the neighbors would, judge them. So his mother told him to tell Jenny to hit the motherfucking road. And if Jenny didn't hit the road, then he and Jenny would have to hit the road. So he, told Jenny that she had to go. Jenny left. And he was legitimately sad. He was crying, and I felt like, oh wow, this man might really like her. Okay? He says that he's going to leave his family. He's not going to live with his family. And in order to do that, he's going to lie. He's going to say that he's taking a job in a new city, and that is why he needs to move out of the house and get his own place. So his friends say in the confessional, it's all bad, bro. Like, in order for Indian relationships to work, the lady has to be younger, they have to be from the same community, and it has to be an arranged marriage. So basically, 3 strikes, you're out. Okay? I'm sorry. It literally, Jenny matches none of that. Okay? His friends also start to put doubts in his head and says, okay, so how do you know she'll like it here? She gonna need you like a newborn baby. What if after all of that she don't like it here? And Submit was like, I never really thought about her not liking it here and not wanting to be here. And so he's talking to the producer. He's like really like sad, and the producer is like, so why do you feel like this? What's going through your head? And he's like, I just want Jenny to be okay. I just want Jenny to be comfortable here. I just want her to be fine. And I just really feel like he likes her. Okay, he might be playing me Boo Boo the Fool, but I guess I'm Boo Boo the Fool. Okay, it ain't the first time I've been Boo Boo the Fool. So whatever. We then see Jenny. Jenny is going to tell her friends that she is moving to India. Now Jenny, just like Submit, after she came back from India, she told her friends that she wasn't going to talk to Submit anymore. So she sits down with her friends. She tells them, y'all, you know what, guess what? I'm getting married and I'm going to move to India with Submit. So the one friend who I guess got camera ready, she had a lot to say. He gonna drop you like a hot pocket. I mean, she was saying some, logical things. But I don't know, I just felt like her delivery was all messed up. And then all of her friends was like, I would never do that. I would never go with anyone younger than my son or the same age as my son. And then the one lady, she said, I've had many opportunities to go with a young man, but I don't. Well, girl, that's your fault. Okay? Because older women and young men, it's perfect. You didn't know that? It's perfect. Oh, yes, it is. Because younger men are in the prime of their sexual virility, and older women in their 40s, I don't know about 60s, but I know 40, maybe 40s and down, they start to be more in their sexual, and so it's all sexual. So, I'm proud of Jenny, okay? But Jenny basically told them point blank, period, I'm going to India, okay? So I got to put myself first. I got to do what I need to do. So, I think In the next episode, episode 3, we see Jenny. She's with her family. They're celebrating Christmas early because she's not going to be there. Her daughters don't know too much about Submit, and that worries them. The daughters are also nervous about him lying to his family about getting a job because they don't know how his family, if his family would retaliate or if his family will react, how they would react or retaliate. The daughters also say, if something happens, I'm not able to call his mama or his friends or whoever or anybody in India and say, hey, can you go check on my mama? I'm not able to do that. And if something were to happen to you, how are we going to bring you back here? So Jenny is like, look, I understand. I get it. I'm, first of all, way too far gone. I done already got tickets. I done already sold everything that I own. I done already quit my job. So, I mean, I'm just going to have to do it. Jenny also says in her confessional that she just wants to be able to do something that is going to make her happy. And she's only getting older, and it's either now or never. Okay? So, she going to do what she needs to do. And she going to hope for the best. So, next we see today is Junie'S Moving day. Her heart is telling her that Submit is worth it. Her daughter and her 4, 5, or 6 kids. Her daughter got a lot of kids, okay? Her daughter and her children come over. And I thought that Jenny lived in Florida, but apparently Jenny lives in LA. I wouldn't give up LA to move to anywhere other than Canada. They all say their goodbyes. You know, everybody hugs, everybody kisses. The mother and the Jenny and her daughter are very emotional. She gets on the flight. And in the meantime, we see Submit. He is on his way. He's already gotten his apartment for him and Jenny. And when Jenny came out the first time, he flew her out. She got flued out. So let me tell you something. I'm not basing the relationship on you being able to fly me out, but he flew her out. She got flued out. That's all I'm going to say. We see Submit. Submit is on his way to tell his parents that he's moving out of the house and he's going to move, to a new city to get a new job. But Submit is really just going to be in the same city. And I was wondering, like, so what if your parents happen to see you at the grocery store? Submit, what the fuck you doing here? Oh, I just came to say, hey, why you ain't come see us? No, I was just getting some food. And then Jenny walk up. I mean, like, it's so many things that could happen. I just don't understand it. But Submit seems he looks very, very nervous to talk to his parents. So he tells the camera crew, I'll be 15 minutes. Y'all got to wait here. I'm going to go up and talk to my parents. Then we see an hour has passed. Okay. Submit is still up there. He's not answering his phone. It's an hour drive to the airport and Jenny lands in 30 minutes. So we see Jenny. Jenny gets there. Jenny is like, I'm ready to see my baby. She go out. That man's nowhere to be found. She picks up her phone and and my mind was like, her phone's not going to work. She picks up her phone. Obviously her phone doesn't work because she's in fucking India. Okay. So now she's like, I can't go to his parents' house. I don't really know what to do. I don't know if anything has happened to him. So I just have to basically sit here and hope for the best. And that's basically how it ends, which pissed me off because I can deal with 2 hours of 90 Day the Other Way. I cannot deal with 2 hours of Happily Ever After. So what they should have done is they should have cut down Happily Ever After and extended The Other Way. Okay? But I will be back to review this next week. I know it was a rushed review, but it was my 3rd time doing it. I finally got it out. I have schoolwork to do. I have to clean this house. I have to just stop being a general whatever, okay? But if you all like this review, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. All of those links will be in the bottom bar below. My name is Brielle. I make beats. I sing songs. If you like what you see, come on along. Bye.